Close your eyes and roll back to the 1990s. Cassette tapes rattled in the dash, flannel shirts hung loose, and Friday nights meant parking lots filled with riders showing off their latest machines. Motorcycles weren't just transportation, they were statements, gathering points, and reasons to brag about wheelies or daring blasts down the highway. Beneath the music and the smell of fresh asphalt, another battle raged. Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, Ducati, even a reborn MV Agusta were locked in a fierce race for speed. Each year brought lighter frames, more horsepower, and higher top speeds. This is the story of 10 motorcycles that defined that climb, machines that turned freeways into runways and left unforgettable marks on a golden era of superbikes. 1999, Bimota SB8R. In 1999, Bimota unveiled a machine that stood apart from the mass-produced superbikes of its era, the SB8R. At its heart was Suzuki's proven 996 cubic centimeters V-twin, borrowed from the TL1000R, tuned to deliver 136 horsepower and 75 pound-feet of torque. On paper, that was enough to push the bike from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds, with a top speed right around 160 miles per hour. Impressive numbers, yes, but the SB8R wasn't just about speed. What made it special was the way Bimota built it. Every frame was handcrafted, every line sculpted with the care of an artisan. The lightweight chassis combined with premium Öhlins suspension and Brembo brakes gave the bike uncanny precision. It carved through corners not with brute force, but with surgical finesse. Then there was the sound, that intoxicating V-twin growl that urged you to twist the throttle just a little more. The SB8R was never built for everyone. It wasn't cheap, it wasn't common, and it demanded a rider who valued rarity and individuality as much as raw performance. Today it stands as a mechanical masterpiece, a reminder that sometimes the most memorable bikes are the ones that refuse to blend in. 1992, Honda CBR1100XX Fireblade. When Honda introduced the CBR1100XX Fireblade in 1992, it didn't just join the superbike wars, it rewrote the rules. Instead of chasing ever larger engines, Honda's engineers followed a radical philosophy: cut weight, not add displacement. The result was a machine that tipped the scales at just 457 pounds, nearly 100 pounds lighter than most of its rivals. With its compact chassis, it felt like a nimble 600cc bike, yet it packed the punch of an inline-4 893cc engine, delivering 122 horsepower. That combination translated into blistering performance. The Fireblade could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds and reach a top speed of roughly 164 miles per hour. But the numbers only tell part of the story. What riders remember is how the bike danced through corners, its lightweight making transitions effortless, its power always ready when the road opened up. The Fireblade was more than fast, it was revolutionary. It forced every other manufacturer to rethink what a superbike should be. In one stroke, Honda proved that agility could beat brute force, and in doing so, it sparked a new era where balance, control, and razor-sharp handling became the true measure of performance. 1994, Yamaha FZR1000EXUP. By 1994, Yamaha had already laid the foundation for the modern sport bike, and the FZR1000EXUP was the proof. At its core sat a 1,002 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine producing 145 horsepower, numbers that placed it squarely among the fastest bikes of its day. From a dead stop, it could hit 60 miles per hour in just about 3 seconds and stretch out to a top speed near 170 miles per hour. The secret wasn't just raw power, but technology. Yamaha's innovative EXUP valve, short for Exhaust Ultimate Power Valve, electronically adjusted exhaust flow across the rev range. The result was strong, usable torque, down low, and screaming top-end performance when the tach climbed. This flexibility made the FZR just as comfortable tearing through city streets as it was flying down the highway. Its handling matched its speed. The aluminum Delta Box frame provided rigidity and balance, while the fully adjustable suspension gave riders confidence in every corner. It was a bike that could carve mountain roads with precision, yet cruise with surprising comfort. Looking back, the FZR1000EXUP was more than quick. It was a trailblazer. It set the stage for the legendary R1 and became the sport bike blueprint that others would follow into the next generation. 1997 Suzuki TL1000S. When Suzuki rolled out the TL1000S in 1997, it wasn't aiming to please everyone. This was a sport bike designed to push boundaries, to thrill, and sometimes even to scare the rider. Under its skin beat a 996 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, producing 125 horsepower and 76 pound-feet of torque. That combination launched the bike from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds, with a top speed close to 165 miles per hour. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. What riders remember most was the sound and the feel. The TL growled with a deep, throaty exhaust note that seemed alive, a raw mechanical soundtrack urging you to twist the throttle harder. Its compact rotary rear damper kept the bike light, but it also gave the handling a sharp, unpredictable edge. At high speeds, that design could turn exhilarating into unnerving in an instant, and that was exactly the allure. The TL1000S quickly earned a reputation as a bike you didn't just ride, you had to respect it. Dangerous to some, addictive to others, it became a cult favorite. For thrill seekers of the late 90s, it was both feared and adored, a motorcycle that refused to play safe. 1998, Ducati 916 SPS. By 1998, Ducati had already stunned the world with the 916, but the SPS, Sport Production Special, took it to another level. Beneath its sleek bodywork sat a 996 cubic centimeter V-twin engine tuned to deliver 123 horsepower. That was enough to rocket the bike from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds and carry it to a top speed of around 170 miles per hour. What set the 916 SPS apart wasn't just speed, but the way it blended performance with elegance. The steel trellis frame gave it both rigidity and grace in the corners, while premium Öhlins suspension and Brembo brakes ensured control worthy of a championship racer. Every detail reflected precision and purpose. Then there was the design. Created by Massimo Tamburini, the twin headlights, sculpted bodywork, and raised tail turned the 916 SPS into an instant icon. More than a motorcycle, it became rolling art. So much so that today, examples sit proudly in design museums. The 916 SPS remains one of the most admired bikes of the 1990s, a machine where speed, beauty, and emotion converged. For many riders, it wasn't just the fastest or the most exotic, it was the sexiest superbike ever built. 1999 Yamaha R70W02. In 1999, Yamaha unleashed a machine built with one purpose in mind: to win on the world stage. The R70W02 wasn't designed as a commuter or a weekend toy. It was a homologation special crafted so Yamaha could compete in the World Superbike Championship. At its core was a 749 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine that produced 106 horsepower in road trim, but with the race kit installed, output jumped to well over 160 horsepower. On the street, that translated into a blistering 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds and a top speed around 174 miles per hour. The chassis was pure Yamaha engineering. A stiff Delta Box frame provided razor-sharp handling, while top-shelf Öhlins suspension and Brembo brakes kept everything under control at race pace. It wasn't forgiving, and it wasn't meant to be. It demanded precision and rewarded skill. Only about 500 examples were built worldwide, making the R7 one of the rarest superbikes of its time. Today, it's prized by collectors not just for its scarcity, but for what it represented: a purebred racer barely disguised as a road bike. For those lucky enough to ride one, it delivered nothing less than the spirit of world superbike racing. 1999 MV Agusta F4 750. The year 1999 marked a rebirth for one of Italy's most storied names. After years of silence, MV Agusta returned in spectacular fashion with the F4 750 Serie Oro. Beneath its sculpted bodywork lay a 749 cubic centimeter inline 4, producing 126 horsepower, capable of carrying the bike to a top speed of about 174 miles per hour. Impressive numbers. But what truly set the Serie Oro apart was the way it combined performance with artistry. Designed by Massimo Tamburini, the genius behind Ducati's 916, the F4 carried a hand-welded steel trellis frame, premium Olin suspension, and Brembo brakes, all wrapped in carbon fiber bodywork. Lightweight magnesium wheels completed the package, underscoring its exclusivity. Only 300 examples were built, each one numbered, each one a masterpiece of engineering and design. The Serie Oro wasn't created to be common. It wasn't built for daily commuting or mass production. This was a motorcycle destined for collectors, a machine you could proudly park in your living room and call it art. More than just a comeback, it was MV Agusta's declaration that Italian luxury and performance still had a place at the very top of the superbike world. 1996, Honda CBR1100XX Super Blackbird. In 1996, Honda set its sights on a clear target, dethroning Kawasaki's ZX-11, which had worn the crown of world's fastest production motorcycle for nearly a decade. The answer was the CBR1100XX Super Blackbird, a machine engineered with precision and purpose. Its 1,137 cubic centimeters inline 4 delivered 152 horsepower and 90 pound-feet of torque, enough to launch it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds and push it to a blistering top speed of about 178 miles per hour. But the Blackbird's brilliance wasn't only about numbers. Its chassis was solid and stable, its aerodynamic bodywork sliced through the wind with ease, and its drivetrain was tuned for smooth, effortless acceleration. Riders found they could cruise at high speeds for hours without fatigue, a rare blend of comfort and raw performance. The Blackbird became more than just a speed king. It was a bike that combined power, refinement, and reliability in a way that few others could match. Long-distance riders loved it for sport touring, while speed enthusiasts respected its ability to topple a legend. Today, the CBR1100XX is remembered as a versatile masterpiece, fast, durable, and a true Honda icon of the 1990s. 1993 Kawasaki ZX-11. In 1993, Kawasaki delivered a motorcycle that would hold the world's attention for nearly a decade, the mighty ZX-11. At its core was a 1,052 cubic centimeter inline 4 producing 147 horsepower and 82 pound-feet of torque. On the road, that meant blistering performance. 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.7 seconds and a top speed that stretched to around 179 miles per hour. For years, no production bike could touch it. But what truly made the ZX-11 remarkable was how it paired raw speed with comfort. Kawasaki invested heavily in aerodynamics, testing the bike in wind tunnels to achieve stability at high speeds. Its broad fairing and smooth bodywork cut through the air, while the plush seat and relatively upright riding position gave riders the rare ability to cover long distances at a pace few dared to attempt. For nearly 10 years, the ZX-11 reigned as the world's fastest production motorcycle, a title that cemented its place in history. Yet it wasn't just a speed demon. It was also a capable sport tourer, loved by riders who wanted both velocity and endurance. To this day, it remains a legend of the 1990s, a bike that defined what fast really meant. 1999 Suzuki Hayabusa. When Suzuki unveiled the Hayabusa in 1999, it was nothing short of a shockwave through the motorcycle world. At its heart was a 1298 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, producing 175 horsepower and 102 pound-feet of torque. That power hurled the bike from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.6 seconds and carried it to an unprecedented top speed of nearly 190 miles per hour, making it the fastest production motorcycle the world had ever seen. The Hayabusa wasn't just about the numbers, though. Its design was unlike anything else on the road. With a stretched tail section, smooth curves, and radical aerodynamics, it cut through the air with uncanny efficiency. The look was controversial at first, but it quickly became iconic, an image burned into the memory of a generation. So fast was the Hayabusa that it forced the industry into a gentleman's agreement starting in 2000, limiting production bikes to 186 miles per hour. Yet its impact went beyond performance charts. The Hayabusa became a pop culture phenomenon, starring in movies, video games, and street legends alike. More than just a motorcycle, it was the ultimate symbol of speed at the dawn of a new millennium. Looking back, the 1990s were nothing short of a speed revolution. In less than a decade, top speeds climbed from 160 to nearly 190 miles per hour, each new machine pushing the limits of engineering and imagination. These bikes weren't just about horsepower. They were rolling symbols of freedom, daring, and the spirit of a generation that refused to be slowed down. It was truly a golden era for sport bikes, where technology met culture and left us with legends still admired today. So now it's your turn. Which of these superbikes do you remember most? Did you ride one or dream of owning one? Share your memories in the comments and keep the spirit of the 90s alive.